What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Big Stacks Bazingas, Pee Wee the Plug, 1/4 through the wire, #1 Knicks fan in the world, aka Mr. Know It All, and we are back with episode 4. Before we even get started, I want y'all to look at the bottom right of the screen. We are 3-7 with the 53% chemistry, 3-game winning streak. But before we even get to that, I got to show y'all all the moves we made. The last episode, at the very end, I was showing y'all some of the trades I was thinking about or exploring and some of the guys I was targeting in my mindset or, my thoughts on what I can do to boost this team. I told y'all this is one of the worst teams I've ever played with or controlled in 2K history, and I've played 2K since the first 2K. So it was maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but that team was terrible. Transaction report. We'll go to there, and we will go to our team. The Detroit Pistons, so I can just show y'all the exact moves, how they were made, and everything. So we're going to start from firing Dwayne Casey. So I told y'all we were 0-7, locker room was just lost, 41 team chemistry, no chance of winning at all. So we had to make a change. We took a big change and brought in a Detroit Pistons legend, Detroit Pistons champion, Chauncey Billups, one of the most respected point guards from that 2000s era. Then we released the guy that we signed on a 2-way contract, Johnny Randall. He had some interior defense and some blocking attributes that we really liked, but everything else was just non-existent, so we had to waive him in order to create roster spots because we had a bunch of guys in free agency that we saw and had interest in. As far as trades go, the first trade that we made was Andre Roberson for Ivan Rabb and a 2025 second round pick. One of the comments actually in the video of the last video was telling me that they wanted to see Andre Roberson, and I was like, it's crazy that sometimes I feel like y'all are really in my brain, like we thinking the same. But there, we have Roberson. The next trade we made was we went to the 76ers. Alec Burks wasn't really getting a lot of PT there, because they have a log jam at shooting guard with Josh Richardson, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, and then Alec Burks. So I was like, you know what? Give us Alec Burks. We'll give you Isaiah Thomas, because all they had behind Ben Simmons was raw Neto. I'm not saying Isaiah Thomas is going to go there and be everything that they need or take them into championship aspirations, but that's a guy that they can use more so than they were using Alec Burks, and we have a real need for Alec Burks here in Detroit. The next trade was Chandler Parsons and Isaiah Hartenstein for Stanley Johnson and Malcolm Miller. Just two guys out of the Raptors rotation that wasn't really getting any minutes, and the same thing with our two dudes. Isaiah Hartenstein is a young center with stretch potential, so they get him. And then Malcolm Miller shoots the ball really, really well. And then Stanley Johnson has some defensive versatility for when and if he plays. The next steps we made was to waive a couple of guys to make some room. So we waived Henry Ellison and Iman Shumpert, who I thought at the time could maybe stick or stay. It was no reason to keep him, so I just let him go. And then the final trade was Allen Crabbe, CJ Miles, Tyrone Wallace, a 2022 second round pick via the Lakers, a 2023 first round pick, lottery protected, to the Hornets for Cody Martin, Jalen McDaniels, and then Caleb Martin. Cody Martin is the defensive Martin twin, and then Caleb is the shooting one, and then we got Jalen McDaniels, who has some stretch 4 type vibe, depending on how we use them. The reason that I gave them a 2023 first round pick, lottery protected, obviously if I was doing this as a rebuild, and I was doing this planning to do it for multiple seasons, I probably wouldn't have gave them that pick. But 2K in their trade system, they kept counter offering a trade with them getting a first round pick. So I'm like, so you know what, since this is just a 1 year little thing that I'm doing with the perfect point guard, y'all have the first round pick. Y'all have it, just give us the players, because it ain't that big of a deal. But 2K and its trade machine and its trade logic is just out of this world. Then we went and signed Trey Burke, as I told y'all we were going to do, and then we waived Jonah Bolden, and then we signed Monte Day, which was a G League free agent. We went and signed J.D. Perry, who also was a G League free agent. Because I know at first when I was in free agency and I showed them in the last episode, I had no idea where they came from, but that's what they were. They're G League free agents. If you go to front office, you can see right there G League free agents, which would show you just strictly G League free agents. I would suggest, if you guys are doing next time I do a real full blown rebuild, and I'm doing it for seasons and whenever And I'll probably be doing that soon because I know y'all like those. I'm just waiting for a draft class and for 2K to fix the fact that they have everybody kind of like on 1 year deals. And what I mean by that, just not to veer off too much in our series, but just as a side note, for those of you that are trying to do rebuilds and different things, how y'all know we're used to doing it. If you see somebody like Giannis Antetokounmpo, he doesn't have 1 year on his deal. He shouldn't have 1 year on his deal because he's not a free agent at the end of 2020. This season that we're playing is still 2020 season. So like right now in the bubble, Giannis isn't a free agent once the bubble is over. He has all of next year. But the way 2K is set up is he's going to be a free agent at the end of 2020, which he should not be. So you're going to have a free agent class of 2020 with like Giannis. Who else would be in this? DeMar DeRozan, who is in real life going to potentially be a free agent. But yeah, Giannis is not a part of this class, but for some reason they have all of the 2021 guys, 2020 free agents, which ruins the whole thing and bothers me. So that's a whole other thing, like I was saying. But in the future, I am definitely going to be working and using the G League free agent tool. It's some specialists in here. You're not going to get anybody that's going to be game changing or anything like that, but there's some potential here because there are guys that are just specialists. You know, you might go out here and find a guy who is just a legit shooter, like Leslie Fletcher. He's 5'11", so it's not ideal. But you got this guy, Lonnie McKenzie, 6'8", and he's just a three-point specialist. Sometimes it's all you need when you're doing some of these rebuilds or whatever. But that's just a side note. So the full breakdown of what we're looking like after all of those roster changes and those moves, we are going to be looking like D-Best at point guard. Alec Burks is our shooting guard. Andre Roberson, the small forward. James Johnson, of course, is the 4. And then we got Cousins as our 5. 6-man is going to be Trey Burke. Then we got J.D. Perry, Monte Day, Alonzo Trier, and then that's just how we rocking. So it looks like we are running with a 9-man rotation. I kind of want to see Alonzo Trier get some more minutes. So I'm going to take J.D. Perry down about 16. Trier go up to about 16. May can come down, and boom. And then we'll just do it like that. Because J.D. Perry, now that I played 3 games, this was my rotation when I first signed everybody. Playing with them and playing with everybody gives me a sense of idea of who they are, especially these 2 guys who are auto-generated G League free agent guys. It gives me a feel for what the type of game is. Monte Day is just a guy who can rebound, score when he's close to the basket. He's not really a post move, back down guy, but he can catch a lob. He'll get an open dunk. He'll block some shots and he'll rebound. J.D. Perry is a mid-range specialist who can really dunk. He's athletic as hell, so when we get out in transition, he's a lob threat and things like that. And I like his size. He's good defensively, can guard a bunch of different positions, but he's just not the three-point shooting guy that we need. Zach Norvell has been terrible from behind the arc. I'm talking about just like for him to have an 80 overall 3, he just doesn't shoot the ball well. He just doesn't. 0 for 1, 0 for 1, 0 for 3. These are all in our wins, but like I said, I need guys that can knock down some shots. He ain't one of them so far, so we might be. Matter of fact, let's do it now. Let's take Zach Norvell out and let's put in Caleb Martin. We'll just see. Another side note that I want to address about these 3 games that I did play. I played all of these games. Like this Wizards game, I played front to back, all 12 minutes, all quarters. And then the Knicks and Pacers game, we were beating them so bad, like in the second half, like third quarter. So I would just sim to the end because I built a big enough lead to know that we would get the win. And then same thing with Indiana. But I want to take y'all through these 3 wins that we had to put us on this 3-game winning streak and now boost us to the 10th spot in the East. So we're not that far out of the playoff picture now that we won 3 in a row. You know, don't forget we're in the East. Starting 0-7 in the West is a big, big difference than doing it in the East. So game 1, like I said, I played this game in its entirety. We did a very good job as a team, but the Wizards came and they hooped. But as y'all can see, it was really close in the first. We won the first quarter by 1. We won the second quarter by 1. So we went into halftime with a 2-point lead. Then out in the third quarter, the Wizards just start going crazy. And they win that quarter by 15 points. And then we turn around and win the fourth quarter by 17 points. And that gives us the 4-point lead to get out of there. John Wall only played 25 minutes because like I addressed in a game against the Brooklyn Nets, D-Best puts pressure on point guards. So John Wall fouled out. We saw Karis LeVert foul out in the game against the Nets. We saw Kyrie foul out. John Wall, put him on that list. 25 minutes, we got him out of there, but you can see he played real well. 12 of 18, 7 assists, 27 points, led them in scoring. Bradley Beal played well in the second half when John Wall got fouled out. He is 8 of 31, but he hit some big shots, and then 1 of 10. This is another guy now, 2 games in a row, we played superstar players, and they did not shoot the 3-ball well. I don't think KD hit a 3, and now we're seeing Bradley Beal go 1 for 10, but he did make some big shots. And after he hit a couple of those big shots, I took D-Best because it struck me. I'm like, bro, D-Best is D-Best. He's a two-way all-around player. So I put him on Bradley Beal. He locked that shit up. But as a team, I think the Wizards play really well. And that's why they're one of the teams that I would be looking to rebuild if I had an actual my league that could allow me to rebuild properly. But since we don't, I'm going to hold off on rebuilding teams as of now on 2K21. Maybe next gen, because we're not that far away. We're almost at November 10th, so we're about a month away. So maybe if I could hold off on a month and do these series, it'll buy us some time. But Rui Hachimura, 19-6-4, played real well, 9 of 11. Davis Bertans didn't miss a shot, and he hit some big shots. They should have actually let him shoot the ball a little bit more. Mo Wagner played like a starting center, which was weird. Him and Thomas Bryant really killed us on the boards, as y'all can see. The numbers are almost identical. Troy Brown Jr. played like a real Troy Brown Jr. He was out there like a point forward at times, especially when John Wall went out with the fouling out. But we was able to pull it off with a 53-point performance from D-Best, 53 and 9, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, 21 of 30, 3 or 4 from 3. That's another thing about D-Best. I keep forgetting that he has Steph Curry-like shooting. So that's a 99 overall 3. So I should probably be shooting double-digit threes per game. I shouldn't be shooting 4 threes because he shoots it too well. He's 3 for 4. I mean, golly, it's 75% from 3. That's outstanding. DeMarcus Cousins. I'm slowly starting to unlock DeMarcus Cousins of old. He dominated this game when I let him dominate it. Mo Wagner, Thomas Bryant, none of those guys could stop him or even come close to doing anything with him in the post. And that was a part of the game where I just said, here, just go crazy, do your thing, we're going to get out the way. And he was going nuts. 28, 18, 4, 2, and 2, 1 turnover, 10 of 15 is the exact dominance that we're going to need from Boogie for us to, catch some people by surprise when we get to the playoffs. James Johnson is like the third guy of our big 3 over here in Detroit, and he 21-7-1, 6 of 11, just one of my favorite players on this team. And I made a tweet on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely do so, because I tweet about the series here and there before videos come out and whatnot. And I was just saying I may need to get a James Johnson jersey in real life, because with this series, he's becoming one of my guys. Like, I just love having him on this team. He can do a bunch of different things. We're talking about pushing the ball in transition off the rebound. He can dunk. He can post up smaller guys. He can take bigs off the dribble, small ball 5, knock down 3, space the floor defensively. He can guard bigs. He can guard on a switch. He's quick enough to guard a guard. Like, he's just the guy that I'm falling in love with in this series. And I know it's just a video game, but my gosh, he's hooping out of his mind. We got Monte Day in his first game, 10-5, and he gave us a block, 4 for 4, no misses. Like I was telling y'all, a guy's going to dunk, rebound, and block. Alec Burks came in and was like the great co-guard next to D-Best, 8-4-5-2, 3 of 8 from shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. Trier, doing some Trier things. Roberson came in, 2 steals, 4 assists, just real solid. And then Perry, 4-5. Trey Burke, 1 for 6. Kind of took him a game or two to really get acclimated and find his way. But the last game that we played, Trey Burke really, really impressed me. And then we got Jalen McDaniels with 2 and 2 turnovers. But we were able to pull that win off. Now against the Knicks, same thought process. I said, hey, let me keep going with this Boogie thing. Let me see if I can get Boogie to start dominating and getting back to the old Boogie, because the better he is, the better we'll be. D-Best is going to be D-Best. He can score anytime at will, going to the basket. D-Best reminds me of like a vintage Derrick Rose. When I get to the cup with him, he's not going to miss much. So he can score at will. We're as good as Boogie. If Boogie is going to be dominant like this, 33, 11, 4, 3 blocks, I mean, we're going to be tough to beat, especially coming out of the East. You see J.D. Perry. I'm starting to learn his game more. I'm going to tone down on the threes. He gets a lot of open looks, so I want to shoot him, but he's just best in transition, getting to the rim and dunking. Monte Day, same thing, just doing what he does. Trier came off the bench and gave us 8 of 6 with 50% shooting from the field. Burks, another all-around game, 6-5 and 3. James Johnson, 6'9", 2. Didn't really shoot the ball, but 3 blocks. He's always gonna bring something to the table that we really gonna love. Jalen McDaniel, 6 and 5. And then Roberson, 4-5, 2 steals. And then Burke struggled again shooting the ball, but 7 assists was real big from him. And like I told y'all, Zach Norvell been struggling. And then against us, Julius Randle just was a monster. He just was real good, close to the rim. This though, 1 for 21 from 3, which is a little crazy to me. But it's not that crazy because we were 3 of 29, and all 3 of the threes came from D-Best. So it's one of the worst three-point shooting games I've seen in a minute. But the Knicks was all right. Boogie really did his thing against Gibson, Mitchell Robinson. Frank Ntilikina was hooping for sure. Another guy that I should have been eyeing to bring on this team before I went and got Trey Burke, but Trey Burke is fine. And then we got our revenge against the Pacers, a team that we felt like we could have beat twice. You can see nobody really did much crazy against us, and then D-Best just came out from the gate and dominated. You see J.D. Perry, 9 of 12. Almost all of those are dunks. James Johnson, 15, 6 and 5. Boogie was light this day. I won't lie. Miles Turner was D'ing Boogie up a little bit. He was blocking some of Boogie shots at the rim. But everybody else came and did their thing. 14, 8 and 2. Another great game from Alec Burks. And then Trey Burke, 12, 5 and 5. Nothing crazy, but the way he was playing, just running to the three-point line in transition. When D-Best came out and he had to run the team off the bench as a point guard, he was getting his shots with the ball in his hands. Trier doing what he do. Jalen McDaniels, 2 of 2. And we just rocking. Now this next game, as you can see, we lost. I don't know why it's not counting as a loss, but you can see the score is 38 or 138 to 131. I have no idea why it's not. So hey, if they're not gonna count it, we'll re-sim it with Simcast. The Timberwolves are better than what they are in real life. Remember, because they signed Blake Griffin. And if this game is close, we'll go in the fourth quarter and try to make some things happen. Down 5 for 3 minutes. We got to jump in. But they have Blake Griffin. They line up as D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley. I don't know who their 3 is. I don't think it's Jared Culver. I can't remember. Maybe it's Josh Aoki, because they have him listed as a small forward. Blake Griffin, and then Karl Anthony Towns. We tried to jump in the last game, which is the one they didn't classify as a loss for whatever reason. But Boogie was fouled out, and I just hate, I hope he's not fouled out now. He only has 1 foul. What about them? They're cool. Yeah, we joined the game last time, and Boogie was just fouled out, fouled out the crazy amount of minutes. So reading the game from the box score, D-Best is doing D-Best type things. Boogie is doing his thing. Burks is doing his thing. Is there anybody I need? James Johnson is struggling against his former team. 1 of 11, 0 from 8 from 3. I'm glad he's taking them. Okay, and then for them, Russell was killing. He's holding it down, 8 of 16. Blake is being solid. And then Towns, he's just kind of not being aggressive, but he's having a good game. Spellman is killing. 3 okay, and then Malik Beasley is just being Malik Beasley. Okay. So how much are we down? We're down 5 with 3 minutes, which is more than enough time. And the lineup they got out here is, okay, I like this lineup. James Johnson coming back in his game, though. I'll tell you that. He ain't got to shoot the ball. James Johnson don't have to be killing for me to play him. So, good D, Boogie. I don't know what he thought he was doing. Knock it down, Burks. I don't know why you didn't cut to the rim. So I needed you to knock that down, because what are you doing? Evan Turner and Roberson. Go back to your man, Burks. And that's just 2K. Just 2K. No reason to switch on that. I sure as hell didn't tell him to switch. Whatever. Before I went in. Put pressure on these boys at the rim. Oh, wow. Wow. The best point guard being locked up at the rim by D'Angelo Russell And then look, Boogie is running to D'Lo for what reason? For what? Now, that's why I love jumping into these games and allowing y'all to watch when I play. Because some of this stuff isn't about being on Hall of Fame. It's not about sliders. It's not about what I'm doing. It's just the game has just certain bugs and it just doesn't make sense. Like the IQ of transition defense is terrible. It's very simple. Just go to your man or pick up the ball. You either run into your man or picking up the ball or somebody closest to you, and they literally will run from their man to go all the way over here to somebody else's man, and there's not enough IQ in these CPU players to say, hey, let me help the helper or do all of these things, which to me, in 2020, shouldn't be that hard to put in the game. It's computer AI. They talk about it every year. Oh, we're upgrading the AI engine so they'll know how to communicate better and it'll be better reads and more realistic. And come on, bro. D-Best is a two-way player, and they got D'Angelo Russell going right around him. That's fine. That's fine. Just clear out. Everybody clear out. I'll take Gerald Green. And then there's no separation. For a guy that got ankle breaker Hall of Fame, handle for days, he's not getting a lot of separation. And nobody is nowhere near Karl Anthony Towns or D'Lo, and he's just playing guitar. So we down 12. That's fine. Come on. And look, D'Angelo Russell is just locking that man up. He's cold. It's the first time I've ever seen D-Best cold. He's just locking him up. I played all those games, and no point guard, nobody, not even a big, was guarding him like that. I have no idea what this is about. And then look, just that whole fucking defense that Boogie just did is ridiculous. Please dunk that. Come on, we not out of this game with D-Best. We down 10. Down 10. We might have to turn into the fouling game. Put some pressure on these dudes. Yeah, Trey. Yeah, Trey. Yup. Yup. And one, please. No foul. No foul. Look, D'Lo don't even want to bring that ball up. We here. No, not Blake. Go, give it to him. Go. I need an and one or something. Good move. Get off me, boy. Don't foul. Don't foul. Don't foul. I got it on manual. Why is he fouling? Down 6. Hopefully he missed one. Come on. They putting in a bench on us? Bet. What we down now? 8? Cool. We're going to blow by whoever this is. And 1. You cannot put in a bench against D-Best. You can't get that comfortable. You cannot. That boy scored up in a hurry. I thought they was gonna give me the steal. I don't know who we just put at the line, but hopefully he missed one. Oh, Jacob Evans. I didn't know they had him on Minnesota. Thought he was with the Warriors. He missed one. So now we down 6. That's good, D. Good board, but it's my bad team. Shouldn't have forced a 3. 3-game winning streak coming to an end. Damn, I wanted to get this win and put us back in the playoffs, but that's okay. We'll see what we do in episode 5. I'm out.